Hello, everyone. It's me, your favorite cartoon friend. And today we're going to be doing a show about, demonic escorts. I've seen this one girl. Oh, whoa. Oh, I got to phone someone. Hold on.
You have reached the Magician's Assistant. If this is the Enlightened one, today's episode is...
Demonic escorts. I just want to say, what the hell am I doing wearing this piece of shit?
Is the Enlightened one wearing your shirt there?
I don't know what happened. Like, he's making fun of my shirt, like the Canada's Dry shirt. Come on.
I don't know. I mean, wow. I mean, that's the first thing I noticed there. I'm like, is he wearing a Canada Dry shirt? Maybe he's a fan of yours.
The other thing was, he told us what the episode was before he even phoned.
Is the interns like letting it slip or something?
I think maybe he got a text message or something from maybe the magician's assistant learned how to text.
Yeah, but based on the guy there in the video of the intro, he couldn't find his phone.
He's like,
oh dear.
Of course, I am the patron saint of professional wrestling. I'm that gingered up, bubbly son of a bitch. I'm Canada Dry, damn it.
Woo! And I'm, of course,
Woo!
the Magician, and this is the only paranormal show made for wrestling fans by wrestling fans.
Exactamundo.
Exactamundo. Big word, that.
That is Fonzie's thing. He used to say exactamundo.
We've got a jam-packed show today. Would you agree?
Absolutely. What's on the show?
Well, we've got something in the vault, as we always do.
We got a lot of things in the vault.
Yeah, the vault seems to be getting bigger and bigger now. It's getting a bit jammed. Would you agree?
No, like, we haven't had Paranormal Eats on the show. We've no Polar Truth, so we got to fill out the sandwich somehow.
Yep, obviously, we're going to be flying in the Galaxy News with Canada Dry himself. And for our main event, we're doing Demonic Escorts.
Now, this isn't girls that... JFD brought this up in a comment earlier. He's like, now is this girls you regret paying to go?
That's a different type of show altogether.
Yes.
How's your week been, by the way? We had a good one?
It's been all right. Still on the mend on my ankle, but hopefully I'll be getting there. I did CPR training.
Yes, how did that go? Obviously, last week we recorded Thursday because obviously you was doing CPR training. How did that go?
It's rough. You got to be on the ground all the time. You're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, like you're pumping and trying to save lives. Did you know that if you don't get an ambulance there, if you don't have the defibrillator, you only got a 2% chance of saving their life?
Can I just say I've done CPR training as well, so I can kind of relate.
Oh yeah, up and down, carrying people. Oh man,
yeah,
it's not easy.
It's horrible when you're on your knees all the time. You're like, enough rambling on. Should we get into where should we go first?
I think that we should figure out what's in the vault.
Okay.
It looks like it's time to open up the vault.
Do you know the combination?
I was thinking, do you think we should need to change the password now? Because a lot of people have been watching this show and they're actually going to know it. They might want to steal stuff out of it.
Well, they can steal it if they want, I guess. What, they gonna get Dallas's toothbrush?
Wait, what? What's that doing in there?
I stole it, threw it in there.
What's going on, noob? As always, and of course, our security, Joseph Graham, is in the comments.
Yes. So I don't know what order these are in, so we're gonna find out what we got here.
Okay,
Bam.
so boop.
All right. So we showed a picture of this last week,
We did.
and people thinking the Grim Reaper showed up at the king's coronation.
Yes. Obviously, I showed the picture, but is this the actual video, I presume?
Yes, this is the video.
What the hell? That is creepy as hell. The more you see it, the more creepier it gets.
Now, yeah, I like how they do the moonwalk with this. So that picture at the end is, whoa, this thing just keeps going.
Oh, yes.
That's got the bright light. All right, so that picture at the end was, I wrote it down, Father Benedict. And they say that he wanders the hall of the abbey as a ghost.
That is true. I've actually heard that. So that would.
So maybe it's not the Reaper. Maybe he just wanted to check out who the new king is.
Yeah. Do you think this is one of those where it's like it just got blown out of proportion a little bit?
Some other people said that it could have just been a regular priest who was there wearing his robe.
Could be. I mean,
I don't know. That stick looks very like, doesn't look very royal.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. So just show a plate once more, or
no, we got it just for that one.
okay. Okay. What's next?
All right, let me see. We got here. Tweet. Let's see what we got.
What the hell is that?
All right.
Oh.
Show
I'm-
it again.
I
See,
do
look,
apologize. I'm being
That's
quiet.
a
here, but-
bird just floating in the air.
Yeah, I'm trying to process this. This is why I'm not saying anything.
He's not even flying. This is a security camera in front of someone's house.
Mm-hmm. And he's just like,
He's just floating in midair.
what? I cannot process what I've just watched. What is going on?
All right. I will let you off the hook. So this bird is flapping his wings so fast
Mhm.
that the camera is not picking it up.
So is the camera on a delay?
The camera is not quick enough to pick up how fast he's moving. So it's an image that makes it seem like the bird is floating.
Okay.
So
yeah.
that's been proven what is actually going on there.
Interesting. Joseph Graham says it kind of looks like a stick at the top of the frame.
No,
mean,
it's not. It's actually the bird just flapping his wings so fast that the camera can't keep up.
Okay, that's that.
Just
Yeah,
a technological illusion.
there you go. Should we watch it again or next one?
That's up to you. What do you want to do?
Let's watch it again because I want to try and process this.
Okay, now you can see it with the technological illusion.
That is weird. That is weird. So I'm no expert, but I think our knowledge of powers moment is you need to get a better camera.
Yes.
Dear.
We're caught in a loop of birds.
Yeah, that's
Because you can see in some of the moments where he's almost see-through.
yeah, it's weird. That's mind-boggling. I'll be honest.
Yeah, and I think I've seen something like this before, but with a bug or something.
Mhm.
All right, let's check what else we got here.
Right then, so we've got one more thing. Yes, we have, and here it is. What? Wait, so this is an old picture. Is that an iPhone?
It looks like some sort of smartphone, and this is at a boxing fight of Mike Tyson when he's in his prime.
And what year was this? Do we know?
What this is like, late 80s, early 90s.
Wow. Okay, and that. When did the actual iPhone come out? I need to Google.
So-
this. Give me a.
So yeah, the iPhone came out. Smartphones came out in I think 2010.
2007, the first one.
All right, yeah.
So that is,
So is this a time traveler
it's possible. Have you got any theories on this one?
that he went to go back to see Mike Tyson?
Oh, yeah, that is possible. I mean, there's so much theories
I
we
had
don't.
another video. Did you not get that one?
No, I only got them 3.
Oh, okay. Don't worry about it then. We'll save it for
But-
next fault.
Okay, yeah, that's absolutely fine. But
But yeah, this is what could it be? Is there some sort of device that looks like a? Because you can even see the camera.
yeah, is that a camera or is that like an actual logo?
Well, why would you hold it up? Like it looks like he's filming.
Could be. I mean, I've,
Could it be? No, video cameras weren't even that small back then.
no, they were proper like big ones, weren't they?
Yeah. So it can't be like a digital recorder.
Have we got any more information on this video or sorry, picture?
No, this is just something that popped up, and people are like, "Is this a time traveler?"
Okay, and to answer my question, I'm saying yes.
It's a time travel. Time travel is possible. He wanted to see this Mike Tyson fight for himself. He wanted to. He heard about in history and wanted to see it for himself.
Definitely, that is a definitely weird one. I will be honest. So, does that wrap up the vault?
That wraps up the vault.
So next up, should we need to strap on because we're going? Where are we going in Canada?
Well, listen. My pilot's license has been revoked for okay. You're not supposed to do loops when you have passengers. In the
Have you
plane.
been doing loops? What have you been
I
doing?
was just having fun, and I was like screaming, and they're like, "Okay, you're suspended." So I'm gonna need you to fly the plane. So we're gonna go all the way around the effing galaxy with pilots.
And we're good to go.
And this is your new captain speaking. I'd like to welcome you aboard this effing wrestling flight. Today's news is, I mean, I'll pass you on to my co-host. What we got? What we got? I mean, we've got news, right?
Okay, well, if you're gonna fly the plane, do not do the loops. I thought you could. I didn't think there was a rule against that. No one said don't do loops.
Yeah, but they also said make sure the passengers are really like in health and safety.
So if I would have done this, this is your captain speaking. We're just going to do a few loop-to-loops, so just relax. Would have been fine, maybe?
Possibly. I mean, I don't know. I mean, has there been some complaints?
Well, that's why I'm suspended.
There might not have been. There might have just been, unless the videos ended up on YouTube, possibly.
Yeah, I guess. Lesson learned. All right, so first thing we want to talk about is the news come out by Wrestling Observer that WWE is making sure that AEW cannot use their building. What does it say? Here's interesting. You want to read it out?
Yes, sir. So it says there's an interesting note that in the arenas that do rent to both AEW and WWE, WWE has put clauses in its deals that WWE cannot run a certain number of weeks before or after a WWE show, and also that AEW and the arena cannot announce the show or sell tickets until after the show has taken place. Do you want my honest opinion on that after I've just read that? I think that's a bit petty, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Well, it's what Trent Bauer and MLW have been complaining about for years and been fighting for like years and years.
Yeah. Do you think it's petty though, personally?
I don't think it's petty. I think it's WWE does not want to lose its monopoly.
Right. So you go and say like, oh, you can't like do the same like venues as we use. Come on now, let's be honest.
They do whatever they can to hold on to that, and they always have.
Yeah, I guess you're right. So I'm kind of not surprised when it comes to WWE.
Yeah, it's like, they got the deal canceled for Tubi TV for MLW.
So is this just WWE being WWE? Is what we're saying?
Yeah, so like they don't want competition.
Hmm.
They don't want anyone to climb up the ladder and be equal to them.
But here's the thing, though, right? I mean, we spoke about this many a times. The closest one to WWE at the moment is AEW. And
Yeah.
despite us being big AEW fans, we've said that obviously many times on the show. As much as we hate to admit it, AEW is never going to catch WWE because obviously WWE's
I
got
don't know
the
if
big.
"never" is the right word.
I don't think
It's a long haul.
it's a long haul. I won't say it's impossible, but it's borderline. Yeah, I think it's impossible because it's like they've got so much of a head start.
Oh yeah, for sure. But like you imagine, like AEW puts on good programming, and WWE doesn't. It's only a matter of time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it all boils down to obviously the fan base and obviously AEW like going out a bit more. Do you know what I mean? Instead of doing like in the same section, do you know what I mean? Spread out. Obviously, they're coming to the UK. I know Canada
All
as
right,
well.
I have a prediction for you.
Okay.
So AEW pretty much filled up Wembley Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
I predict WWE goes back there by next summer.
And I can guarantee it'll be less than 65,000.
Well, I don't know. They're going to fill up a stadium. They're going to try anyways.
I don't think it'd be Wembley Stadium because I just feel like
No, I don't think it'll be Wembley because Wembley's dates are too hard to
mm-hmm.
So I think it'll be another stadium that can fit as many people.
Yeah, we've got obviously like Sheffield Arena, which is obviously, but they don't go close to obviously Wembley. You're talking 40, 50,000, but like I said, Wembley Stadium's got 90,000 seater.
Yeah, so I think because WWE will not allow AEW to make their mark like that without well, we did it too.
Joseph Graham says WWE sold 62,000 for Clash at the Castle. Yeah, but that's like Scotland. That's actually way up. It's not really. It is UK, but it's not really classed as UK.
Yeah, but pretty much you got Scottish people, English people, all coming to the same events if it's within traveling distance, right?
Yeah, it is obviously a long trek, obviously to Scotland. So, but I see where obviously Joe's coming from.
All right, let's move along. What else we got on the docket today?
So women's title change, obviously at Double or Nothing. Who was the title change? I mean, there was two actually, so take your pick.
All right, so this was predicted. I forget who said it, but we talked about this on the show last week, right?
We said it briefly, but I think you spoke about it more obviously on the pre-show on Sunday.
Was it mostly on the pre-show? I thought it was here on Wrestling with Paranormal that we talked about this.
We might have.
We said that the women's division will look much different after Double or Nothing.
Yes, we did. Now you said that. Okay. Now, two title changes. Obviously, now Chris Statlander is obviously the TBS champion, and obviously Toni Storm is now the women's champion. What's your thoughts?
Okay, the Statlander thing. That for me, that came out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting her back until maybe All In or All Out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was cheering for Jade to get that 60.
Yep.
And then I never expected to have Statlander. I cried a little bit. I got to be honest.
Yeah, the surprising thing was I read that obviously it's been planned for a while that Statlander was going to be the one to dethrone Jade, so it was just a matter of timing. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm a huge Statlander fan, but as we said last week, now where does the women's division go now? You obviously got two new champions. You've got Toni Storm.
Yeah, but the Toni Storm thing, I think they did a great. Like, it was a short match, but the way they did it, I enjoyed that because you weren't sure if she was actually going to pull it off or something.
I like matches like that.
It was only a few minutes, but it was entertaining.
Yeah, I kind of like matches like that because you just don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, where do we see the women's division go?
And what's nice about that is Toni Storm gets revenge for having the title screwed out of her to begin with.
Yeah, that's right.
So
'cause
it's,
obviously-
she wins it the way she lost it.
yeah, and this boils down to obviously what we said last time is long-term storytelling.
Yes.
So that's a great thing. And I'm looking forward to see obviously what happens with the women's division. So next story we've got is Roman Reigns will be given a new title on SmackDown tonight to celebrate the 1,000 days as champion. Can I just say one thing? I mean, even though it is 1,000 days, the guy just does not defend it as much as you think, and it just really disappoints me.
Yeah. But what I do like about this is, and fingers crossed, that they'll unify the titles.
If that's the case, then why just have one champion? What were the point of bringing a new title out to unify him?
Because they have this moment now that Roman has the unified belt and it's glorious.
Yeah, I suppose you're right on that one.
It's like, and I earned this kind of thing.
I want to get your thoughts on something because we spoke about this obviously on the Magic of Wrestling last week. And when it comes to obviously the world champion obviously competing, is it one of these where is it few and far between, or would you rather see him like wrestle? Not, I won't say weekly, but like every couple of weeks or so.
I want to see, like, obviously, I want to see the champ. I want to see the champ at least defend once a month.
At least, right? Okay, that's a fair
Like, the
comment.
30-day clause is a real thing. Come on.
Literally, I mean, but maybe you're right. Maybe it is obviously a unified title because now obviously they've got obviously another champion already. So who knows?
Yeah. And obviously, we have the announcement that we can stop talking about it now because CM Punk
Yeah.
has finally been announced that he is coming back.
And where's he coming back? AEW Collision. Where's Collision going to be held? Chicago.
Yes. So, did you watch the clip?
I did.
So there was a mixed reaction in the crowd. I think there's more cheers than boos, though.
Yeah, it's CM Punk, and he's going to get that reaction wherever he goes. But I'm kind of excited, obviously, for this because I mean, I feel like even though Punk is obviously controversial, we've said that many times, he's still a draw for a company.
Now, I had this idea, and I brought it up in the chat. Danhausen manages CM Punk.
Oh God, no!
What? You don't like it?
It's not the fact I don't like it. I just think it'd just be so stupid.
Come on, that'd be so fun. Danhausen's the best.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm trying to earn booking awards here. Come on.
Well, I mean, speak to Tony Khan. Maybe he could get you
Yes. Yo, Tony, get Danhausen down there.
Dear, we've got one more story left, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the image, and you know exactly why. So, here's the image.
This is my friend, my best buddy, Natalia Markova.
So go ahead.
Now, WWE, she tried out there twice. They weren't interested. Now, I know for a fact that she is as good as any wrestler in WWE. I know this for a fact. She can out wrestle anyone. And there is no better seller in WWE than Natalia Markova. Now, AEW, she went there. She had 4 matches on Dark.
Yep.
And I guess they didn't call her back. So I don't know. I don't know what the hell. You know what it is? They already had their Russian.
Yeah.
They don't. You can't have 2 Russians on a card. What? Anyways, Natalia Markova is fighting for the NWA Women's World Heavyweight Championship this weekend. And she deserves this spotlight more than any other wrestler in the world right now. She is the most underrated of all the women, and I don't get it.
Okay, so now so that's against Camille, if I remember correctly.
Yes, that is Camille. And I don't know. Camille's only been wrestling a couple of years. She's not that good.
I've seen her a few times, and I'm not a big fan like you
Like,
as
she's
well.
got the size.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's got, I guess, the wrestler look.
I think the thing is with Camille, she reminds me a little bit like Jade Cargill. Still a little bit. I hate using the term green, but that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah. So, I'm not so sure Natalia will win because I don't think they'll let her have the belt without being under contract, because like you're putting the spotlight on her, and all these companies can grab your women's world champion. So
Yeah.
that's a risky play, but you know what I mean.
Of course. Noob says Impact Wrestling's already got a Russian, and that's Marsha Slamovich. I hope I've said that right.
Yeah, they had a hell of a match in Natalia and Masha had a hell of a match in House of Glory.
Yeah, I mean, House of Glory is really good because there's so many like wrestlers who show up there who you wouldn't believe. Even Matt Cardona as well.
Matt Cardona's the champion now.
Yes, he is. And Matt Cardona will be at 1PW next weekend, where I will be.
He must be a hell of a time just holding all these indie belts around.
He's just going to have to get like a big, massive like trolley cart thing saying, come on.
Well, you don't want to haul them all around all across the world, do you? Maybe
No.
one or two. Two of your better ones.
Yeah, all like the world title ones. That'll probably be the best. So is it? I imagine it's a pay-per-view then this weekend. I've not seen NWS.
Yes, it's the Crockett Cup.
The Crockett Cup. So
most of it's tag team, and then you got Natalia and Camille.
Noob says again, WWE, please sign this woman Natalia Markova as main event material. She should main event WrestleMania.
Yeah, we don't want her in WWE. We don't want her in WWE.
No, we do not. So that wraps up the Galaxy news. So we've got one more thing to do before we get into our main event, and it's to say a massive thank you to our sponsor. Now, you know, there's streamers out there, there's gamers out there, and you need some sort of energy to keep you going. Now, what energy is that? That would be, of course, Dubby. This is obviously the new energy drink.
Now, Dubby has no maltodextrins, no sugars, no dyes. It is all like good ingredients, and it's not going to give you the jitters or the shakes. This stuff is just goodness, and just give it a try. I've been told that if you try it and you don't like it, they'll take it back.
Interesting.
But that's how confident that you're going to buy it again after trying it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm obviously, it's on my to buy list. Have you got some yet?
I have it in my cart on their website. I just didn't pull the trigger yet.
So that's head to www.dibby.gg. Use the promo code FINWrestling for 10% off your order. Now, you made a valid point here. Not just one order. Every time you order, put that code in, you get 10% off.
Well said.
Well said. Well said. Noob says, Dubby is a great energy snack. What a thing to end on. So, I think we've covered pretty much everything. So, is it time for our favourite thing? Your favourite part of the show?
Story time.
You know, sometimes that laugh really puts me off.
So we're talking about this demonic escorts. Now, what is a demonic escort? It's just a name that I just came up with because I thought it sounded cool. But we're talking about creatures that prey on you when you're at your weakest.
So this was actually a surprising story when I read this because I didn't know what to expect. You sent me obviously the link for the video and I just went in blindly watching it and I'm like, wow. By the end, obviously I finished it. I'm like, this is just creepy as hell.
Yeah. So just a little couple stories from myself, my family. So I had to have surgery to have cancer removed from my kidney, and I was really afraid, and I was vulnerable. But unlike these people that we're going to tell, I felt an angelic presence in my room. So I felt like there was this giant angel that was kind of guarding me, and I just felt safe. And so when my dad died, though, we he was a big fan of guess what, Canada Dry. He loves Canada Dry, and so we asked the nurses, for drinks, can you give him Canada Dry with his meals? And it turns out he couldn't drink them all for every meal. So he just had all these cans of stacked up of Canada Dry everywhere. And one day we came in to visit him, and there was Canada Dries on the ground. We're like, Dad, what's up with this? Why are these here? He's like, last night I saw an entity. It was this dark figure, and it was in the corner. And so I was throwing my Canada Dries at it.
I love that. Get out of the way.
Yeah, so he was kind of like throwing me at them. It's like a video game. If I had a weapon, I'd just throw cans of Canada Dry at people.
Wow, that's a great story. That's really made me smile.
All right, so yeah, demons, they prey on people when they are weak. Now, I firmly believe that the mentally ill are worse off because of demons.
Yeah, because you just said it there, because obviously they're vulnerable.
Yeah, so if you're a demon and you're getting points in hell for this, and you're going to prey on some weak people, wouldn't the mentally ill be the ones to really mess with?
The weakest.
They don't have their grasp on reality.
That's true.
So you could really scare some of them. And no one will believe them because they're mentally ill.
Yeah.
But anyways, in 2010, not that this guy here I'm talking about, he's not mentally ill. It's just I just wanted a side note. So 2019, in the UK, Martin Kirk was admitted to a hospital. Okay. And he needed some heart surgery. So I don't know if you know this, but if you have heart surgery, you're really weak afterwards.
Yeah, because I can see why.
Yeah. So after the heart surgery happened, he's got to stay there as an inpatient. The doctors can check on him and whatnot and all that kind of stuff. So after the surgery, on the first night, he was fast asleep in his room, and he awoke. And you know when you wake up and you're in a different place, you're very confused at first.
Mm-hmm.
You're at your friend's house or you're staying somewhere else, a hotel, whatever. You're like, where the hell am I? That first wake up. And he couldn't figure out where he was. And then he turns on the lamp. He's like, oh, I'm in the hospital. And as he's looking around the room, he sees a shadow figure in the corner of the room. And it's starting to move a little bit. And so he's like hitting the buzzer, nurse. And the nurse runs in. He said, okay. She's like, okay, you're just hallucinating. It's some medication. She's telling me it's all right. It's okay. And he's like, okay, fine. And he's laying in bed. And he's like, I'm not going back to sleep. I'm just going to stay up. But he drifts off.
Yeah.
As long as you try to stay awake, it just doesn't work, especially if you're trying.
Have you ever tried that where you're trying to stay awake and then you just gone anywhere?
You know, when I was a kid, I used to try to stay awake for wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was on late at night. And I'd wake up and the wrestling was just ending. No! So, anyway, so he falls and drifts off to sleep. And he wakes up to some tickling on his feet.
What?
And yeah, so he feels sensation tickling on his feet. So he wakes up, he looks down, and he sees this demonic arm grabbing his foot from the other side of the bed.
This is
And
giving me
he
shivers.
starts screaming, and he fights, kind of kicks off this thing. It slinks back underneath the bed. The nurse, he tells the nurse that what happened. She looks under the bed. There's nothing there. Just trying to give a reassuring note. It was just a bad dream. So he decides, you know what? I'm really not going to sleep for the rest of the night.
Right.
And he's able to pull it off because he's so freaked out. So daylight comes and he has a nice little sleep. And he makes it to most of the night as well. But now his sleep pattern is messed up. You see where I'm going with this?
I do.
So now he has to try and stay awake for the rest of the night. So he's determined to stay awake again, but just like when you're fighting it, with all the medication and all the weariness, and I'm sure he didn't get enough sleep during the day. So he drifts off, and he wakes up to the room being pitch black.
Yeah.
And his eyes can't adjust in time, but what he does notice is these red eyes looking at him from the corner of the room.
See, this is a weird one because we've covered obviously the red eye thing before.
Yeah, they I think they're just messing with us with these red eyes because we have that sort of thing in movies and stuff. It's just like just to mess with us. And anyways, so he's adjusting to the light in the room, and it's not pitch black anymore. He's kind of seeing things, and he can see the form of this figure. You can't see any features, but you can see the form of this thing, and you can see the eyes staring at him.
Wow.
And all of a sudden, he goes to get up, but he cannot move. And from around the bed come these demonic hands that grab him all over his body. And they're holding down, they're black. And they're just holding him there. And he can't do anything. He can feel the coldness of these hands against his body.
This is weird.
And all of a sudden, out of nowhere comes like a sledgehammer. It just goes, and he's out. He wakes the next day around noon. The nurse says, your heart had stopped last night and we almost lost you.
What?
Apparently these things tried to kill him.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that ending.
So he wasn't a religious man at any point in his life, but now his mind is very concerned about what he will see or what he will find when he dies.
Based on that, who knows? I mean...
Well, you think we might want to try religion after this?
This is one story where religion's actually the final option.
It's like, do I want that or do I want... All right, so let me just set up your story for you. So her name is Jessica Martinez.
Yep.
And she was hospitalized in around mid-2000 for essential treatments. And she couldn't get to sleep because there's all these different people in a room. And she had to share the ward with all these people. And, have you ever tried to sleep in a room with like 6 or 7 people?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in hospital myself. Obviously, when I had like a big
hospital or even like different lodging where you got to share a room.
Yeah, it's absolutely horrible.
It's horrible. Like people coughing and making all sorts of noises and rustling and doing, I'm just going to eat these chips.
I think the hospital one is probably the worst because you've got like, obviously patients, you've got beeping noises, you've got trolleys up and down. You can never ever get a good night's sleep there.
You know, when I was in there, there's this guy who was screaming bloody murder. And I said, I just had enough. I'm like, shut the hell up. and the next day, his family was visiting him, and he points to me. There's the guy who told me to shut up. Anyways, so this woman, she can't get to sleep. Too much noise with all these people in there. And she starts to notice this weird thing at the corner of the room again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a shadow figure. Surprise! And it starts walking towards her. And she notices it's like 8 feet tall. And it's not there for very long. And it walks out the room and into the hallway. And Jessica Martinez is freaked the hell out. And this one, I'll make the tag to you.
Thank you very much. Now, after this, obviously, incident, nothing actually took place at the night, but noticed that more shadow figures were moving around the hospital in the coming days. Now, as you mentioned there, she also saw him in the corner of her eye. Do you know what I mean? Doors like squeezing through little tight parts of doors and traveling along the corridor. So they're always like there. But the creepy thing is she was the only one who could always see these. Do you know? Everybody else.
So she's pointing it out, and people are like, "What are you talking about?"
There you go. So, and she started to think, "Am I going crazy? Am I going?" Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you would have to definitely think that. And we're talking about the mental illness, right?
There you go. It's one of these where you'd actually question yourself. Now, to make this really creepy, one obviously night is one of the disturbing aspects was she saw these like actual shadow figures bending down and whispering into people's ears.
Oh no!
Can you imagine that?
That would be a creepiest thing to see. Oh man!
Like, I'm like, what the hell? No. Another evening, she obviously saw the exact same thing, an entity whispering to somebody's ear. Now, this person at the time was obviously asleep, and after this, let's say altercation, that's probably the best word is, he jumped up and apparently he had a terrible nightmare. So from this entity whispering in his ear, he had a terrible nightmare. So I don't know what the hell he whispered to him, but who knows? Then that's obviously two things there. Now, as weeks progressed, obviously Jessica began starting to heal really well, so she could go home. Now, she obviously, when she got home, she shared all her experiences, obviously with family, and the thing is, the family didn't believe her. Now, they said it was side effects of obviously pain relief, sleep deprivation, which is obviously something I think you mentioned in your story, and so after these two things herself, Jessica started to question herself a lot more. It's like, am I seeing things? Is it me? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Because you do. I mean, when I read that, I'm like, I'd start to question myself as well. If I can,
especially sleep deprivation. You start seeing things if you don't get sleep. You start, talking like things that aren't there, and you're like, I've heard people losing it with the sleep deprivation.
Yeah, it's probably one of these where your mind just plays tricks on you so much. So, and that's obviously the story of obviously Jessica, but I've got another story here from a nurse in Scotland. Unfortunately, this nurse is not named, so her job was to look after an elderly patient, which...
Is she Mrs. Haney?
I don't know. I'll ask Haney. Now, her job was at the time to look after an elderly patient who was sadly passing away in a month. Now, one obviously evening, she obviously went to checking all the patients as she normally does. Then the room 2B where this patient obviously stayed, she heard a loud scream from obviously the patient. Now, nurses obviously gone straight to obviously see what's going off. And apparently the patient mumbled about a dark shape that tried to drag her away.
Wow.
Now, the nurse obviously trying her best to try and calm her down, but all she kept repeating, and this is where it gets creepy, "Don't let the darkness take me." And that's the one thing she kept repeating and repeating and repeating. So after an hour, she obviously, fell asleep, and then obviously the nurse went back to her post. Now, a few hours later, the heart monitor from this actual thing decided to flatline. So the nurses obviously rushed, obviously to see what was going on. As she's opened the door at 2B, she saw a dark shape next to the patient's bed. Now, the creepy thing was, his hand was actually like inside her chest, but it was actually only on her heart.
Wow.
And unfortunately, this was the last time she obviously saw this person, alive. And obviously, so the nurse is obviously in two minds going, what do I do? She's like panicking. So a final thing was to obviously move forward, and then which surprisingly the actual figure disappeared.
Wow.
So after this incident as well, she obviously she took all the information to her colleagues, which the weird thing was, the colleagues have obviously had same experiences, weirdly.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, that's the most I've got on this, but I've got a lot of theories. I mean, the one thing we've obviously spoke about this sleep deprivation. You mentioned a key thing there.
Yeah, I don't think so, man. I think the hospital is a place where either angels are coming to get you or demons are coming to get you.
Yeah, I think that's fair. The other one was drug and side effects, because obviously when you're obviously in hospital, you're on so many different drugs for obvious reasons. Is that taking effect because these side effects to them?
I think like these demons are like vultures circling their prey.
Yeah, because it's funny you say that, because the next one is demons taking advantage, because I think we said it before, is they're taking advantage of other people who are not at the healthiest, if that's probably the correct term.
Well, especially if you're not religious.
No, exactly.
If you're not religious, you're free game. like you got no one to call on.
And the last one obviously I've got for this is it's taking advantage of people with, let's say, heart problems type. That's their key one.
Yeah, I don't think it matters what your problem is medically. I think, the hospital is free game, I think, because there's it's not anyone's home.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no one to guard it.
Yeah.
It's a public facility. Like demons can't enter your home without your permission. You heard that kind of stuff?
Yes, because there's like certain games where you invite them in as well, which
is
kind of...
So like it's not a home to not invite them. You know what I mean? Saying that like they can just wander in like everyone else. So
yeah, I mean, this is one story where obviously we've covered it, and it's kind of changed your perspective, obviously, of hospitals. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. Just even from knowing from myself and my dad, fighting off those. I would wake up in the middle of the night myself and just be freaked right out.
Yeah, this is the reason obviously I've asked you that, because obviously you can kind of relate, obviously, being obviously in them situations to kind of.
Oh yeah. If it wasn't for that guy screaming, I would be less scared, because he's like, ah! I'm like, what's he scared of?
And yeah, I mean, to summarize, I mean, what do we think?
Oh, it's to summarize, as you know, I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I think that to protect yourself from these creatures, you need to know God. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, sirens, what's going on? What have you done?
Did you hear that? Did you hear the siren?
Yes, I said, what did you do?
Did you hear my last bit that I said?
Yes. I
Yeah.
did.
So just to summarize really quickly, to avoid these creatures, you just need to know God. There we go.
There you go. I mean, it's definitely a weird story. It's probably the one which I'm going to look back and remember because it's just so creepy. It's like demons taking advantage of obviously people who's obviously really ill.
Yeah, and that's just what they do. They don't play fair.
No, they do not. And look who's actually here.
What did Alex Haney say?
He says they're not going to sell any ice cream going that fast. He's on about the sirens. He's on about the sirens.
Oh, I'm like, demons sell ice cream? No.
Oh dear. What's it? I wonder what flavor it's going to be.
Oh, charcoal.
Flaming heart.
Flaming. Ow.
Yeah, I mean, what do you reckon to this story?
Oh man, it is what it is. It's demons, man.
There you go. There you go. And yeah, I mean, that pretty much wraps up everything I've got for this. So
this brings us to my buddy's favorite segment. No, it's power.
So it's just
I didn't freeze. I just messed with it.
Oh, it is. So on this show, we like to educate. Do you know what I mean? So, what can kids take away from what we talked about today?
Well, children, come close. You know, Uncle Bill has been in the hospital for a while now, and Uncle Bill just isn't the same since he's been in the hospital. He's twitching a lot, and he's kind of scared when you go to shake his hand. Just remember, Uncle Bill has been haunted by demons. So be kind to Uncle Bill.
Oh, dear. I'm going to kind of play off what you've just said there. So, kids, do you know what I mean? Everybody has to go to a hospital at some point. Could be for something simple like a checkup or an operation. Could be anything. Now, if you're in a room and, you know what I mean, you see some sort of figure in the actual corner and you feel like it's going to scare you, you have two options, right? Number one, you can press that buzzer, but you might be too late. Or two, just get the hell out of that room.
How are they
Simple
getting
as
out? What if the hands grab them?
All right, if it's in the corner. And that is mine.
Just try your best, kids, to get out of there. Yeah.
There you go. That is my knowledge is power. I tried freezing them, but I completely forgot.
What's nice is that if you got a nice data plan when you're in the hospital, you can watch TV on your phone.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you could actually just watch on your phone with all the different apps now.
Exactly. You can literally bring your Sky Plus to your phone.
Like if you're in the hospital, or I was in the hospital, we could still do the podcast.
Yes, we could. Yes, we could.
Like me all tucked up in my blanket. Like, hey, everybody.
Hi.
I'm in the loony bin. They don't call it the loony bin.
Do you remember when Renee actually did a promo and she was actually still in hospital?
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
I remember watching. I was just thinking about when you said like watching it in the hospital. I'm like, oh yeah, because she actually recorded when she told me about it, and I'm like, this is actually cool. I'm going to be honest.
All right, so we got some big shows. We're going to end with yours, okay?
Okay, so what we've got on Sunday?
We have a very special episode. You're on it as well, with Joseph Graham. We're calling this episode King Me.
I thought King Me. I thought I said King and Me for some reason.
No, it's King Me.
Okay, King Me. So what's the concept of this?
Now, we got to come up with the best kings. Like, we're all going to come up with 5 kings.
Mm-hmm.
Be like King Haku, King Duggan, whoever, just whoever. Or even if your name has King in it. Like Silver King from WCW. Yeah, so anyone with King in their name. King Kong Bundy. So we're going to come up with the best king. King Jerry Lawler. So we're going to, if someone gets named twice, they have a good chance of being crowned the ultimate king.
But the rule is they've got to have the king in the name.
Yes, or have one King of the Ring.
Okay, that sounds fun.
So even though he's not King Stone Cold Steve Austin, he's still available.
Because he won King of the Ring.
Yes.
Of course. And for Saturday, which is probably one of our biggest guests, is this is going to be interesting because we know him as one person, but in the US, they obviously know him as somebody else. So we have in the UK, we call him Martin Stone, but in America, you obviously call him Danny Birch. You'll be on our show tomorrow.
And that is, what time is that?
That is 6:30 UK time, which is 1:30 Eastern. And yes,
And
it'll
that
be
is
live.
10:30 Pacific.
I don't use that one. I just use them too.
Oh, leave me out of it. Leave me out of it again.
Well, you know what time it is anyway.
It gets complicated. You can remember one, right?
There you go. And yeah, obviously Danny Birch or Martin Stone for the UK will be on our show tomorrow. Mr. Isaacs and I have obviously got loads of questions to ask him, and we've actually got some fans questions as well. If you've got a fan question, send it to me. Send it to Mr. Isaacs. We'll ask him.
Are you going to be answering questions live as well?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, it depends how much we can fit in an hour.
Yeah, if people are asking questions, watch, come interact with us on the show.
Of course. And hey, Canada's right. Who made the T-shirt I bought off your shop?
I chose the color purple, but that was JFB's design.
There you go. So hopefully that answers your question.
You chose the purple one. Maybe we need a black one too. What do you think?
Yes.
So not only will we have a pink All F and Wrestling show shirt, we're gonna have a black Messing with the Paranormal.
And stay tuned because the Magic of Wrestling obviously has got another shirt coming out at some point.
Yeah. It was going to be Magic Man Out or something like that?
Yes, it's kind of like the little thing I always do at the end of my show. It's just a little thing.
So he's going to be wearing like a clown outfit?
No.
No? So we miscommunicated. Oh.
Is he's into doing something wrong again?
I'm just messing with you. Obviously, it's a spaceman outfit.
Can we just do the outro, please?
All right. So if you want to join our prediction league, go down there. Go on Facebook. You can also find us on fnwrestling.com. And but most of it, everything's in the description right there down below. So if you want to buy a shirt, Pro Wrestling Tees, whoa, hey, caramba. That's of course Natalia Markova, the face of FN Wrestling, and you can go to Pro Wrestling Tees / Agent Adonis if you're a fan of old school wrestling. And we got another shirt for Adrian Adonis on the way. Did you see this one?
I've not. You've not shown him yet.
Oh, I'll have to show you after the show.
Yes, absolutely. And obviously he's on Dark Side of the Ring. I think the episode is in the middle of the season because now the season is obviously premiered now.
Yes, so we got one episode and his episode's in the middle of the season. But yeah, I'm learning more about this. There's a lot of mystery around Adrian Adonis' death.
Really? So hopefully Dark Side of the Ring will answer a lot of them questions.
Yeah, so hopefully I'm looking forward to finding out more about that. And even Angie, his daughter, she's learned a lot of stuff that she didn't know before.
Wow, so that's a lot. That's a big deal, especially now. What's the relation there? Just remind me.
Angie is Adrian's daughter, but she was so small when he died.
Okay, gotcha. Right. Wow. Yeah, I mean, like I'm excited for the episode. So, but like I said, it's not till the middle of the season. But
did you watch the first episode yet?
I have not. That's probably what I'm going to do tomorrow. Watch that.
Yeah, you got a good. You always do a binge session too, where you watch them. I do. And you still got to catch up on the territories too, don't you?
Yes, I do. I mean, it's the problem is it's just so hard. Obviously, trying to work and obviously plan all the shows.
You know what? We should just quit our jobs and just do this full time.
I'd love to do this full time.
So if you want to support us, send us money so we can quit our jobs.
Oh dear. Yeah, and like I said, I think that wraps up everything. So one last thing is, any final words from Canada Dry?
I would like you all to remember to just keep fighting.
So I have to wonder, are you actually demonic yourself?
What?
What?
How dare you, good sir?
Please don't hurt my kneecaps.
Everyone thinks I'm a bad guy. You know, just because I have a rasp in my voice. Do you know why I have a rasp in my voice?
What?
Because I ate too many cough drops when I was a little kid, okay? You know that affects your vocal cords after eating 20 pounds of cough candies?